Hello and welcome back to beautiful Holton, Maine. We are here at the Can You Survive Tribal Council area, and we are moments away from the second Merge Tribal Council taking place. Our players are getting set and ready to head on in here to join us for another vote out, where the second person will be joining the jury. That's right, if you missed it last tribal, we have started the jury phase. So not only will our players be lining up, we will see the first member of our jury filing in as well.
Hello, coming to tribal.
All right, and here they come. The final 10 players in Can You Survive Hunter's Moon. Everyone hoping to make it to double digits. Everyone wants to be one of the final 9. Tribal Council now is Jazzy, Brianna, Melissa, Cam, Brian, Colt, Dave, Tyler, Taylor, and Matt.
Let's bring in the first member of our jury. Bergen voted out at the last tribal council.
Bergen's got his hot chocolate, he's got food, he got his shades on.
Welcome back to tribal, final 10. Congrats. Let's start with the last vote. Bergen was voted out, but Cam, you did receive 2 votes. How does that make you feel right now?
It's never good. I feel like that can pile up. You see your name out there, but I feel like I came into this merge knowing I was gonna be a target, and I've been pretty open about that with everyone. And I think it's easy to use my name as kind of a decoy vote. And so I hope that it's not something that kind of picks up steam. And I feel like I've kind of done my groundwork with everyone, but I'm not surprised by that.
Brianna, you also received 2 votes. Do you feel the same way? Do you feel like your name could be picking up steam? Or are you trying to kind of halt that engine to a stop?
Yeah, good question. I think Bergen did kind of tell me that people were talking about my name, and I'd heard that was getting thrown out. So I wasn't surprised to see that necessarily. I do think it, it, like you said, you just hope it does stop. I feel pretty confident in this one, but going forward, you never know. So I'm just going to hope, again, the relationships that I have built are solid and keep going forward.
Well, last round, not unanimous, but pretty heavily favored for Bergen. Are you hoping that happens again? Dave, is this a vote that you're hoping most of the people will land on one person?
I think everyone here wants it to be unanimous, just not them. That's really what everyone wants. Me too.
Sure. Culp, safe from this tribal, you did win the last immunity challenge. How did that feel after a night in exile 2 nights ago, winning your first immunity challenge?
Oh, it's a big man morning, I'll tell you. No, I will never feel safe in this game, so a little rattle around my neck sounds pretty good. Especially in the wake of somebody like Bergen going at the tribal before this, somebody I've been very close with, and that scares me. So something like this couldn't have come at a better time.
Being close to Bergen, do you feel like you were also on the chopping block had you not had that necklace around you?
I would absolutely consider myself somebody's name floating around, especially in the wake of last tribal. But I am still hearing a lot of different things being floated around. It is just as gray and blurry and camouflagey as it was the last time we spoke.
Brian, these players have been playing together for 3 days while you have been in the hunting grounds. Are you finding your way back into a tribe, into a place where you feel comfortable with people, you can say what you feel and it won't be used against you?
Ooh, great question. I think that I am learning to say what I should say and feel my feelings inside, and then reflect, and then open my mouth. Yes, I think this is a lesson that will haunt me for the rest of my life.
So are you saying the hunting grounds taught you something?
Oh, no.
No. Okay. All right.
Never would I give the gratitude to something like the hunting grounds. Yeah, I think, everyone who plays this kind of game is so committed and like truly an all-star player, and I feel like getting to learn from everyone has just like forged me in the fire.
Commitment was a word that Brian used. Tyler, how committed are you right now to the people that you have told that you are trusting? How committed are you to those people?
I mean, I think I never came into this game kind of playing, like, I know, like, the strategy is always to be, like, mysterious and deceitful and manipulative and all that other stuff, and I didn't win that way for any of the challenges. I didn't win immunity by doing that. It's kind of just always being upfront, and I feel like that's where, up until now, I had a lot of loyalties from that kind of thing. I knew I haven't really had my name thrown around, and so we're coming out on Friday. I knew it was going to happen. It is happening. I'll just put that out there. It's fine. And I think for me, everybody at the end of the day is doing this for themselves. To come down to everyone for themselves, and I think everybody knows that also in a sense. But I would say in terms of like being like kind of like supportive or people that trusting, I would like to say something a little side back to it is that I don't think people realize you're going to go into, people are very tight with original tribals. You have 4 Cutler, 4 Telos. It's going to get nasty between those two tribes, and having someone like me still in the game to where I'm not going based off of original tribes. I mean, it's just me and Culp from Machias, right? Say name?
Machias.
Close.
Either one.
I don't think people are thinking too far ahead. I think they're thinking like, okay, right now, and then it could get messy, and that's fine. I also think that being put on the chopping block is a compliment because obviously it's competition. It's a threat. If you weren't a threat, then they would drag me along as like a goat or someone to vote for how they wanted to vote, type of thing. So I going into this right now very like in tune with myself, paying attention to myself, how I feel about who I want to vote and things like that. But I don't really would say that I have expectations from anybody, I guess you could say. Because it's all he said, she said. We'll know when you read the votes.
Yeah. Melissa, is it 4 Telos, 4 Cutler, and the 2 Machias? Is it really that black and white?
No, I don't think it's that black and white at this point in the game. What did you say when the lines are disturbed when the waves come up? I mean, like there's so much camouflage going on right now. I think they're like each person sitting in these chairs are such good players that it's hard to know what to believe when you're walking away from these conversations. I think at this point of the game, though, I'm a big believer in gut feelings, and if something is not rubbing you the right way, I think that is a huge sign to just trust your intuition. So, like, yeah, on paper, sure, it's Cutler, Telos, we have the majority tribes, but I think there's just like so much fine text that we need to read in these, and especially today, coming this close, we're like looking at a juror right now, we're like really coming to the end, and so I just think there's so much more than just what tribe you started on.
Absolutely. Brianna, Melissa mentioned gut instincts and like that type of thing. What is your gut telling you right now?
That's so funny about that. I was just asking it. Like, what are you telling me right now? I mean, it's telling me kind of like what I said before, like relationships are important, like trust your people, trust your relationships, trust what you've built. That's what my gut's telling me. It's also just telling me like, yeah, to do like the obvious. I think that there's something obvious that everyone here knows, and so it's just telling me to like play the obvious, play it safe. I think like I'm not as big of a risk taker as most people are, so I like to play things safe when I can, and so grateful for that.
I like that word obvious. Cam, what's the obvious choice here? If you were to bundle it into one little feeling and package, what would that be?
Yeah, I mean, I think the obvious choice, the fun thing about Survivor is the obvious choice is going to be different for each one of these people. I mean, there's only going to be so many paths to the end for each one of these people, and the path to winning for Matt is different than the path to winning for me, then it's different than the path to winning for Tyler. So that's really the struggle when we're talking to these people, is that you have to try to put yourself in their shoes and understand what's logical for them, but not everyone acts logically anyways. So I mean, the obvious choice might not even be the choice that they're going with.
The beautiful thing about this game is we're not just playing for ourselves. You are playing for charities. Matt, how does that come into play? You're not just playing for yourself out here. You're playing for something much, much bigger. How does that push you forward?
Yeah, my charity is the most important one, and all these other guys can so only give money to me. No, I think like we're all playing for great causes. It's been nice hearing about everyone's charities and what they're playing for, because it makes it it really usually blends a lot to like who they are as a person, and so just hearing like their background and their difficulties and how it led them to support that cause has been really interesting. I don't think it affects the vote at all, because we're all playing for individually great causes. But I think it's really cool that, you know, as a cast, we've raised so much money that it really is a win-win. We're playing a game. This is fun. I'm having a great time. And if I get to walk away with money from my charity, I'll be over the moon. But anyone else who gets it, like, we're all playing for great causes here.
And to reiterate for the live, we did raise over $15,000 this game. Insane. Jazzy, this is day 4. How has the bonding been, you know, outside of the game? How is the bonding with you all in the elements? You know, you're all playing this game. You're all in this pressure cooker of an environment. How are you handling it, and how are you all dealing with it together?
I mean, that's what makes voting people out so hard, because it's so enjoyable to be hanging out by the fire. I mean, I think that's probably one of my favorite things to do, hang out by the fire and get to know everybody. I mean, we go around the circle and talk about our charities, and people start crying, you know, and then you start crying for those people because they have such intense stories. Like, I have played a game before, and like, you start loving these people because you're spending so much time with them. So it's just very emotional. I don't want to vote anyone out ever. I also don't want to be voted out. And so it comes down to self-preservation over emotions, because that's the part of this game, and that's what makes Survivor so great.
Self-preservation is the name of the game, and unfortunately for one of you, there won't be any more. Let's get started on the vote. Dave, I will start with you.
All right, and we're going to head on away to tea time. Our lovely pre-jury players all getting to hang out and take in tribal council as well as part of our live audience. We love to have our players sticking around. We will not be sticking around tribal council, heading on over to our tea time spot. For those that are new here at Can You Survive, this is the time where we get to step away to talk about everything we just heard and everything I've just heard, and have a little tea time together. So we'll be out of earshot of the players. This is our time for me to tell you what I know and for you to ask questions, and for us to get to hang out while the players just silently vote. So I will flip this on around and say hello and then get right into it, because we have 10 different players to chit chat about while they go ahead and vote. So, all right. Before we get into this vote, let's talk about the last tribal council that we saw. A couple items to discuss. So we saw Bergen get voted out at the last tribal council, and I am told that Bergen actually was turned around looking at where the idol was hidden at last tribal council, but didn't grab it. And then Cam noticed where Bergen was looking, and Cam then nudged Brianna to go to like notice the idol. So that's why Brianna grabbed it, because she was given the tip off of Cam, from Cam, who was given the tip off kind of from Bergen. Bergen decided to mess with the players' heads by saying that he was getting voted out with an idol in his pocket, which led to some paranoia from his fellow OG Machias members, Tyler and Culp. leading into this round. And for those of you curious about where that idol was hidden, I'll show y'all, I think maybe after this next vote out, but it was hidden behind one of the antlers that frame our tribal council arch area. So it was nestled away back there. So yeah, all right. So leading into this round, we saw that, again, there are now only 2 Machias members left from original tribes versus 4 Cutler and 4 Talos. And one of the ideas these players have had this round is to weaken Machias, or, which is interesting because I feel like, 2 players to 4 already feels pretty weak. And so if you're doing the math there, Culp, of course, won the immunity necklace, which means Tyler would be the only option left. So eyes are on Tyler this round. Let's see. Sorry. And Cam actually went and asked Taylor if she would be willing to vote Tyler this round, and she didn't love that idea. She thought she might be willing to, but really, Taylor would prefer to vote Brian out. So Brian, another target this round. Taylor said that Brian is lying about their vote last round, and so they are not to be trusted, and is trying to let Matt know that, let other people know that, and throw some suspicion on Brian. Let's see. Speaking of Brian, similar to last round, Brian wants to work in the short term with their OG Telos people of Dave, Melissa, and Jazzy, but does not think that they can win out against Mel and Dave in a final tribal council scenario. So long term, they want them out because feels like they can't be beat. And Brian is considering a vote between Tyler and Cam because Cam has an idol that, again, is public, and Cam is actually planning to play his idol this round. He's feeling like it's in too many conversations. His name is coming up too much as a result of it, so he would prefer to get it out of there and just stop the conversations around it, and actually told Brianna that she should play her newly found idol as well. However, Brianna is actually not planning to use her idol unless she's worried that she feels like she needs to use it, but she's really playing up that she's going to use it in order to maybe trick people, and so she can keep it for the game moving forward. So she's going to feel it out. She said that if she felt worried that she was going to use it, and one of our viewers was an eagle eye and said that she noticed that Brianna went down to like grab her water bottle and like whispered something to Melissa, which is interesting. So maybe that grabbing of the water bottle was like also grabbing of the idol. I'm not sure, but interesting because that she would confide in Melissa, because Melissa actually threw a stray vote at Brianna last round, and Melissa's eyes are targeting Brianna or Tyler this round again. So there are several names in the crosshairs. If you're keeping count, that's now one of 4 of Tyler, Brianna, Cam, and Brian all being discussed, all potentially up for a vote out here, which is so fun. Speaking of Melissa, she's still feeling the love for all of her OG Talos people, minus Brian, not quite as close with them. Of course, they've been spending time in the hunting grounds. And speaking of the hunting grounds, people think that Culp, who spent time in the hunting grounds with Brian, voted together to keep Bergen last round, and were the ones that threw votes on Brianna and Kim, who also received votes. However, that is not the case, because we just heard about Melissa throwing a stray vote onto Brianna. Well, Taylor threw a stray vote on Cam to make him paranoid to flush his idol in the future, which means to use it when he didn't actually need to. And it sounds like that is exactly what might be happening this round. So Cam might be playing straight into Taylor's hands on that. Let's see. All right. Let's see. I'm moving over to Brianna here. Brianna's still obviously super tight with Cam and Matt, as we heard about last round. She also really is continuing to enjoy Tyler and does not want to vote Tyler. And I believe Brianna actually is the one that told Tyler that her name was out there, which might come back to bite Brianna. So I'm not sure because Brianna told Tyler that Jazzy actually threw Tyler's name out there, which I'm being told isn't necessarily true. So I don't know if that was a total lie or like an exaggeration or a miscommunication or misunderstanding, but either way, that is now Tyler's perception. Speaking of Jazzy, she wants to stay OG Talos strong, and she also threw a stray vote on Cam last tribal. And she only told Melissa about it. So currently, Melissa's the only one that knows about Jazzy's stray vote. Jazzy and Melissa are super tight. So that is, a nugget of information that might strengthen that bond or could be used by Melissa against Jazzy in the future if necessary. Speaking of stray votes, we also have extra votes in the mix because why wouldn't we? And Dave has an extra vote and Matt has an extra vote. Dave is actually paranoid that it's him this round because players aren't making eye contact with him. And he thinks that a potential Tyler vote that keeps being floated around is too easy and that he's being lied to. He is willing to use his extra vote this round to not only keep himself safe, but also Melissa and Jazzy, his OG Talos people. And Matt, who also has an extra vote, was absolutely shocked by the Cam and Brianna votes last round, didn't know they were coming, and now he's scared because he knows that he and Taylor are the only two OG Cutler Reds without idols. So he's kind of in a anyone but me route right now. He's feeling super close to Tyler and Brianna, but maybe not close enough to not vote for Tyler or Brianna. So this is going to be something something to watch. I think that is all, which is great because we are now being called to the tribal council area. Sounds like everyone is voting, or I'm sorry, everyone has voted. We are now going to go see what happens. So thank you for joining me for tea time. Excellent questions. I think someone was asking about something more general that I can answer. Just scrolling up here. Let's see. Oh, the jury. Yes, thank you, Carl, for kind of explaining. I'll just re-explain in a moment. We see Bergen here. He will be one of the players that is voting for a winner now. So at the very end of this, we get down to a certain number of players, and they get voted for to win the whole game by the jury members.
Anybody has an advantage or an idol and you want to play it, now would be the time to do so. This is a hidden immunity idol. Any votes cast against Brianna will not count. I'll read the votes. Brianna does not count. Tyler, 1 vote Tyler. Brian. Tyler, that's 2 votes Tyler, 1 vote Brian. Tyler, that's 3 votes Tyler, 1 vote Brian. Tyler, that's 4 votes Tyler, 1 vote Brian. Tyler, that's 5 votes Tyler. Tyler, that's 6 votes. That is enough. Please bring me your torch.
No.
Can we get someone to grab that for Tyler, please?
That's good. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I start a fire. It's not my fault. Signed a waiver or something.
Tyler, I'm sorry. The tribe has spoken. It's time for you to go. Final 9. Congratulations.
All around for Tyler. She's gonna head on over
Please
with
make your way to
me.
the
We're
challenge
gonna
group and
stay
wait
on
your next
the live.
individual immunity challenge.
So So Tyler, we will head on over to this bench over here. The bench is preferred because the swing is a little ASMR moment that makes people seasick. But you're welcome to swing after. All right, you can.
The shower would be first.
Okay, that's fair. All right, we're just having players head on out, and in a few moments, this will be your time to just share anything that you would like to with the viewers.
Okay.
All right, everyone is far enough away, so this is your time to speak freely about anything you'd like to share.
Well, one, if my friends and family are watching right now, I know they've been watching. Thank you for watching. I love that. I think that makes me. Oh, I was not planning on crying. That just made me sad. I'm not sad about getting voted out because I have muffins in my car that I really wanted to eat. And anybody can ask like the mental health and the physical team. My allergies have made me really sick this game. So I think like I'm more so really proud of myself. Like really proud of myself because this is so out of my comfort zone. And like when I say I'm so not mad about being voted out, I didn't even expect to make it to merge, let alone day 4. I'm so excited to shower and eat, and like I might not have won fully for my charity, my nonprofit, but I know that they're super proud. I know that my family's super proud, and like my friends, and I think that is what makes me sad because I'm like, ha, I did it. And anyone who like personally knows me knows that like I really was a rough kid growing up. So to come out here and do all this, I'm like, I'm happy, and I'm really happy to shower and eat. And to
so
not
glad.
be in that. But that was a really, it was so interesting. I also, if you couldn't tell by trivia, I'd never watched Survivor. I've watched Naked and Afraid and stuff like that, but none of this was something that, and now I can say like, oh, I did it, and you know, made the merge. And I think I went out on 10th, right?
Yes.
So would that be considered top 10?
It sure would.
And you never know. What other seasons, you know, now that I feel comfortable and I've played before, it's just, I think I found a new part of myself too playing this because it's out of my comfort zone.
Oh,
So,
I love that. I just got like a little heart melt moment.
Yeah, like that's why I'm crying because I'm like, it's just like so, like it is. It's like a wholesome moment. Like I just like okay, like I went to, like it's just cool to go to day 4, and I don't have to sleep out in the sticks anymore. And I'm starting to smell today too. So like when I really say like I'm so excited to see how it goes for the rest of them and how it plays out because I think things are about to get a little crazy.
Yeah, we are so happy to have you as the second member of our jury. Before I let you head on out to Ponderosa and get your shower and car muffins, and we do have house muffins as well if those
Perfect. So
interest you.
Maybe if they're not like I don't have the muffins in my car right now.
But before I let you go, just a couple more questions. As you said, made it all the way to day 4, deep into this game. You got to experience a lot of life out here. I would just love to know maybe something you learned about yourself in your time out here.
Well, when I told my family I was doing this, and I'm gonna keep going back to my family because they might have texted me the day of, like, you're gonna kill it, go. Leading up to that, they literally laughed at me. My stepdad, my brothers, my uncles, my grandparents, like, literally laughed at me. And so, you know, I kind of did go into this thinking, like, oh, am I gonna be like them? Like, the whole thing was like, no skincare, beauty, whatever. I think I taught myself that, like, I can actually survive pretty freaking well, like, kind of like not on my own, but just in a sense that like a lot of people know me as like a beauty makeup influencer, and to be able to be like, well, actually I slept outside for 4 days, 3 nights was outside for 4 days without food, on, you know, minimum, showering, stuff like that. It's just my resilience and really staying in, because when I got really sick the first 2 days, I really was debating about whether or not that should play a role in if I stay or not. And to push through being as sick as I was and not feeling good, I'm just like, my friends like to say that I'm the girl that doesn't take no for an answer, and I think that really solidified it for me. I might not have won first, second, or third, but I did it. I got all the way through the merge, and it solidifies this version of me that I'm really proud of. You know, that I recently found within like the past 4 years. So
I love it. That's incredible. Did you have maybe a favorite moment in your time out here, or something that was like silly or fun, or you were like, I can't believe this is
I
my life
think
right now?
we've kind of also this thing, but my favorite parts were, and like at first you wouldn't believe it, like the first night sleeping, it was kind of rough, spooky lady, but I think the nights, like the campfires, the moments you think like would probably suck because it's cold, we're on the ground in sleeping bags, we have just the fire that we have to provide for ourselves, keep lit at night, things like that. The things that we all talked about and laughed about at those bonfires, regardless, it didn't matter if it was like the first tribe, we merged, I mean, we did a tribe swap and we merged. It was so, they were the best parts. And I really liked hearing all about all these people, because I think another thing too is like we're all strangers. It wasn't like these are like, some people might know each other from other things, but for me, these are all strangers. So to be able to experience 21 strangers and hear their life stories and who they are and what they're fighting for and their whys and stuff like that, I think as a people person, like the nights were my favorite, I would say.
I love that. Well, Tyler, before we let you go, you mentioned it earlier. You are playing for a very worthy cause. So, one more time, go ahead and shout them out and let the viewers know who you're playing for.
I was playing for Hearts of Schuyler, an amazing mother-daughter duo from New Jersey, and I have full faith that they're going to clean up a lot of the areas that people have let go. You have Kensington that people just joke around and say it's zombie land, you know, mothers, kids. They do a lot, and it's all by charity donations. And the fact that they're a nonprofit, they don't put photos up of it. They're not doing it for some kind of clout chasing thing. You know, it's just I know them personally. They're from my hometown. So I hope that they're proud, and I hope that, you know, if I would do it again, I probably would do it for the same organization. They're amazing, and I see a lot of value and potential in them.
All right. Well, Tyler, thank you so much, and congratulations on a game very well played, despite never having watched Survivor before.
No.
Congratulations. I will let you head on over to Ponderosa with your handler, Ale.
Okay.
And we will see you at the next Tribal Council.
See you later.
All right, everyone. As you can maybe hear some drilling in the distance, we are continuing to set up the next challenge here. So we should be back in about 15 minutes to stream the next challenge. I see Brandon conquering his fear of heights in the background up on a ladder, which he hates. So, you know, personal growth moments for everyone out here. Love it. So, all right, we will see you in about 15 minutes for the next immunity challenge. It should be a fun one.